Okay, we're almost ready. Let us turn this off. Okay, I think we're okay and ready to go. Let's put this over here. Oh, it's a bit high, isn't it? Alright, I hope you guys can hear me. Hello, Faya, nice to see you. Let me just check all of my settings. I think everything's working. And then if I put this here, oh my gosh. Let's put this over here a little bit. Cool, okay. Right, hope you're doing well, Faya. How is it all going? Are you all having a nice relaxing weekend, same as usual? This morning I had quite a lot of lessons this morning. I had about, how many did I have? I had like 6, 7 lessons this morning, so now already refreshed for the live stream, and I hope you guys are all doing very well, okay? Yeah, have you guys got any special plans for this weekend? For me, I have a few friends coming over, and tomorrow we've got the special, what do you call it? The podcast live stream where I will be having some of my native, English speaking friends, and we're going to have a nice, interesting discussion here in the room tomorrow. So look forward to that. But yeah. Hi Michael, how's it going? Have I moved to Japan yet? No, I haven't, not yet. I will be moving in about 2 weeks, so I've got a lot of packing to do. I haven't started packing yet, and I'm thinking about how to, pack and move some of my things. Like, for example, this dictionary. This is way too heavy, so I don't think I will bring my dictionary. But some of these posters in the background you can see over here, yeah. I want to bring some of them, but the frame is quite heavy, so maybe I will just take out the paper posters and then I will have to buy another frame in Japan, but hopefully that will be okay. But yeah, alright. And why are you sick in England? What do you mean sick? As in, like, do I have a cold or a headache? I guess you mean something else. But yeah, we'll just give it just maybe 2 more minutes, and then we'll jump into today's lesson or presentation. I've got a lot of videos and photos to show you, similar to the wedding live stream we did the other day. Okay? I hope all of my audio and everything is working. But yes, okay. But yeah, how is school in your countries? Today I'm going to talk about education and school here in the UK. But for you, in China, in India, and those places, how is school in your country? Is there anything special or unique? Because here in the UK, we have some pretty interesting things to show you today. Especially you'll be seeing me when I was, how old? 16, 17, 18? I have a few videos from college and maybe some from university as well, so look forward to that. Hi Alejandra, Alejandra? Is that how you pronounce it? But nice to see you. And am I from Japan? No, I'm not. I am British. But my parents are from Hong Kong and Malaysia. Okay? Alright. Bien. Thank you very much. And, okay, so I think we can begin. So, welcome today to... Good start. Welcome to today's live stream. Thank you for joining me today. And today we have a very special topic. Today we're going to look at school and education, okay? A very relevant topic, something that everybody talks about when it comes to speaking a second language. Education and school, very useful topic. So let's have a look. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me anytime, and I'll do my best to answer in the comments on both YouTube and Hello Talk. Oh, by the way, I will quickly post the YouTube link in the live stream, so if you are a free Hello Talk user and you're running out of time, you can watch it, or you can continue to watch on YouTube, okay? Let me just pin that over here. Sorry, this one. Pin. Okay, cool. That is done. Let's move on with the presentation, okay? So, so, here I want to welcome you to the beautiful British countryside, okay? In the summer when it's nice and sunny, the British countryside is a beautiful place. I generally don't think the UK is very special. You know, I was born and raised here. But in the summer when it's nice and warm and you can go traveling, I do highly recommend the British countryside, especially the Cotswolds, which is a very famous countryside area in the south of England. It's a great place to take lots of pictures for your Instagram profile, but just a nice place, very quiet, away from the cities. So I definitely recommend the Cotswolds, okay? But moving on, we have the UK. Here we see Scotland, Wales, and England, and Ireland as well. But today we're going to focus on where I grew up. Interestingly, my hometown is not on this map. It's a bit too small. But today we're going to look at two special places, okay? First of all, we're going to look at my college. In other words, in America, they say high school, but we say college, which is very confusing. But basically, from around 14 to 18 years old, children here in the UK go to college, okay? I just remembered. Oh no, recording. I don't have to record it. It's fine. Sorry. So, my college was actually in this place called Bath. Okay, now it's the same word as the word bath, as in to take a bath, and I think the reason why it's called that I'll show you in a moment, but it's a very historical place. This is a World Heritage Site. Okay, it has a lot of history and it's a very important place for culture, yeah? And one of the reasons why it's called Bath is because the Romans built a bath spa here. This is a natural hot spring, and you can see sometimes on cold days the steam rising from this natural hot spring, yeah? The UK doesn't have many natural hot springs, but I think this is one of the few famous ones built by the Romans, okay? But it's quite expensive to get into this place. I think there's a museum, and I don't think you can go into this part, but there is a smaller kind of hot spring that you can enter. I think it's something like £15 or something like that. But yeah, it's a nice tourist attraction. Okay, now moving on, let's bring this up. Okay, another great attraction is the Christmas market. The Bath Christmas market is one of the most famous Christmas markets in the UK. And you can buy so many wonderful things, lots of food and lots of Christmas themed items like bags and decorations if you're having a Christmas party or something like that. Okay? Alright. By the way, can everyone hear me? Is everything okay? Yeah, I think my audio is working. Yeah, it's okay. Alright. So moving on, let's have a look over here. Yeah, this is one of the most famous parts of the Bath. It is called the Crescent. You can see the very unique architecture over here. This is called the crescent, same as the crescent moon. Yeah, I highly recommend going to this place to take lots of pictures. Okay, all right, so moving on. Now, the Crescent, Bath, is a wonderful place, but one of the places that I want to show you are over here. In 1752. Oops. Why is it suddenly changed? Oh, there we go. Okay. So, in 1752, this was a place called a Prior Park College. A long time ago, it looked quite different, but this building is super old. Okay, and it's been here since 1752. You can see the architecture is very, very fancy, very high class. Hi, Chia, nice to see you. And this is my college, okay? And you can see the building over here. It is quite similar. It's actually very similar to the building in 1752. Yeah, it hasn't changed so much, okay? And this is the campus of the college. And you can see the main city of Bath is actually quite far away. This school is at the top of a hill. So as a result, there is a really nice view of the city. It's absolutely beautiful, especially on a nice summer's day, okay? So moving on. We have this main building over here, and all of the buildings in Bath are very special for many reasons, but one of them is because it's made of limestone, okay? So most of the buildings, almost all of them in Bath, are made of limestone, okay? Limestone is, how do I say it? It's a very special material. Sometimes you use it in science experiments, but the Romans here used limestone. Oops, sorry, I should go back over here. So if I click on here, the Romans used this material to build most of the buildings, and as a result, there are actually very strict laws in the city. You're not allowed, or it's very difficult to demolish the buildings and make new ones because of the historical importance of all of these buildings. Okay, and as I said, not just these buildings, but all of these places in Bath, the Roman Bath Spa, the Circle, and this bridge, they're all made of limestone. Okay, so it's a very nice place, and there's a lot of history and culture here, and that's why it is the World Heritage Site. Okay, all right, now let's move on to the house system. Okay, have any of you ever watched Harry Potter? Yeah, has anyone, watched Harry Potter? Can anybody tell me? Yeah, it's a very famous movie, and if you go to London, King's Cross Station, you can find that platform where they push the trolley into the wall, right? But Harry Potter is super famous for having this system where there were 4 houses, okay? There was Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, and Hufflepuff, yeah? Harry belongs to one of these houses. Can anyone tell me which house does Harry belong to? Okay, can anyone tell me which house does Harry belong to? I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Harry belongs to the Red House of Gryffindor. Yeah, he is the kind of courageous hero of the story, and Gryffindor is the symbol of courage and things like that. Okay, now in my school there was a very similar house system. You can see here there are some girls here. I took them from the official website and the social media. We have 3 houses here. We have Fielding, Arundel, and English. Yeah. When you apply for the school and when you enter the school, there are kind of, I think 7 houses and 3 for the boys. No, sorry, 3 for the girls and 4 for the boys. Okay, and you are just randomly chosen and given a house. And actually, an interesting thing is that the houses also have different colors. Okay, so for example, here we have Fielding, Arundel, and English. And then we also have these 4 houses here. These are for the boys. We have Allen, Roach, Burton, and Clifford. Okay, and you can see over here down in the bottom, you can see they each have a different kind of crest or a symbol where they have the different houses. Okay, all right, now moving on, I'm going to show you a picture from a long time ago. Here, can you recognize me? Of course you can. I'm the only Asian boy here. You can see there, I am on the right, and you can see that our ties are different colors. Okay, so Alan has a kind of dark blue tie, and there's a kind of yellow stripe. It's a bit difficult to see, but Roach has a very, what was it, green tie. Green is the color of the Roach house. Okay, so moving on, and that was back then, but nowadays there's a bit more of a kind of standard uniform. It's a bit more similar for each house, okay? But this is the modern style uniform for this Prior Park College, okay? Now, moving on, we have the school system and the hierarchy, okay? So here, there are different positions in the school. At the top of the school, we have 1 headmaster, and then we have 7 housemasters. These are teachers who are in charge of each house. As I said earlier, there are 7 different houses. So the teacher is in charge for Roach House, Allen House, and so on. Okay? And then we also have the student, the head of house. These are the students who are in charge of each house. They represent their house, okay? So one more time, we have the headmaster, the housemaster, and the head of house, okay? All right, great stuff. Now moving on, we have the different ages, okay? It's very confusing system, but we have these different grades. In America, they say grade 7, grade 8, or 8th grade. But in the UK, we say year 7, year 8. But sometimes we also call it lower 3, upper 3, and so on. And you can see the different ages over here. Just before university, we have upper 6th. Okay, so these are the different names. All right, so looking back here on the right, we have the American words for these different levels of school. But can anyone tell me what are the different names for these different levels in the UK? Yeah, can anyone tell me what do we call these different levels? I'll give you 10 seconds just to write a few words. Can anyone tell me what are the different levels in the UK? Earlier I told you that college is university in the UK, but what about the lower levels? Does anyone know? I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. We have primary school, secondary school, college, and then university. Okay, you can see it's very confusing because here we have college, which is the same, but in the UK, college means high school. Okay, so it's very confusing, but don't worry too much. And here is another kind of confusing table showing you the different levels of the different schools and ages, okay? So primary school, secondary school, and then maybe college. All right? Okay, great. So let's move on to a few important words. I'm going to show you actually a video of my school, you know, a secret video that they took on the campus. And you can see some of the facilities and the famous places. But to understand a few words in the video, first, let's have a look at these words. Okay, the first one, we have the word pastoral. Okay, this means the personal life of the children. Okay, now this school was very how do I say it, special, because many students come from abroad, you know, Europe, Spain, Greece, Africa, Hong Kong, China, and so on. As a result, a lot of them actually live on campus. These are called the boarding students. Okay, of course, most students, such as myself, we travel to and from school using the bus or the train, or people who live very close might walk to the school. But there were a lot of students who stayed or lived at the school. Okay, so we often talk about their pastoral life. This is their kind of, you know, what they do in their free time and, you know, that kind of stuff. And then we have their academic life, yeah, the study, the subjects that they study at school. Okay, so pastoral, personal life, and the academic life. Okay, and then a few more words. We have the housemaster and housemistress, a teacher in charge of each house. Remember, there are 7 different housemasters for each of the different houses, the girls' houses and the boys' houses. Okay, so very nice. Okay, now let's move on to the video. Okay, I did my best to show you a bunch of subtitles and some of the key words, so now I'm going to play the video, and do your best to listen along. And don't worry, I'm going to pause the video every now and again and maybe ask you a few questions. Okay, so let's have a listen, and let me check my volume. Hopefully this works. Oh, that was loud. Okay, right. Are you guys ready? Let's listen. 3, 2, 1. Oh, wrong button. Is it going to play? There we go.
Hi, I'm Maya.
And I'm Matthew, and we're the head.
So here we have the heads of school. These are the 2 people, 2 students that represent the school, okay?
Of school.
We've been part of this community for over 6 years, from lower 3 to now upper 6.
From day 1 and prior, you'll be part of a house and a tutor group, really allowing you to get to know everyone, and of course, easing the nerves on the first day of school. Each house is its own community, and of course, has its own personality.
So you can see, again, this is the pastoral life, them playing table tennis and just enjoying their break time, okay? Hey Jas, nice to see you.
Housemasters and housemistresses are always there for you, whether it's academically or pastorally.
Yeah, so as you can see here, the keyword pastorally, the teachers will support you academically, of course. You know, if you have questions or you don't know how to do the homework, you can ask them questions. But also, if you're living there and, you know, teenagers, you know, it's a difficult time growing up, thinking about love, romance, and, you know, university. So if you ever have any questions, you can ask the teachers, you know, academically or pastorally. Okay, right.
Instilling positive values, sharing your successes, and of course, making time if you need it.
And you can see, oh no, I went too far, I apologise. Let me go back here.
Strong sense of this school.
You need it.
So you can see here the architecture. You can see these very fancy arches. Again, the inside of the building is made of limestone and things like that. Okay, I'm doing well, Jas. How are you? Okay.
Prior's Christian.
So this very like fancy architecture, you can see it has a lot of history. I have no idea how they clean the building though. It must be very difficult to clean. But anyway.
Ethos of kindness is found at the core of this school.
So as you can see in the background, you can see the cross. This is a Catholic school. It's a religious school. Of course, you don't have to be, religious to go to this school. I mean, I'm not religious, but there are a few events. For example, if you stay there on Sunday, you always have to come to church and take part in the service where they, pray and talk about many things like the Bible, okay? But you don't have to be religious or Christian to join this school, okay?
And means friends are easily made with a strong sense of belonging. Our chapel sits at the heart of this community.
Chapel, oh, I did it again, I apologise. Chapel is the name of this building over here on the right, okay? It's like a smaller kind of church.
Whether it be Latin,
From school, we have weekly assemblies, mass, special events and concerts.
and in classes you'll be...
Can you guess what subject they are studying here? Can anyone tell me, using your detective skills, what kind of classroom is this and what subject are they studying? Can anyone tell me? Yeah. I'll give you 10 seconds to have a guess. What subject? The clue is here on the wall. Yeah. Does anyone recognize this table? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shanxi, very good guess. Chemical, you're so close. Leisure, nice to see you. This is indeed Darius, very well done. It is chemistry. So this is the chemistry classroom. Very good.
Surrounded by teachers eager to support you through your studies, whether it be Latin, French, drama, DT, mathematics, or...
So they've actually updated the subject. When I was at this school, they didn't teach Mandarin Chinese. I think for languages, it was mostly French, Spanish, German, and Latin. Yeah, Latin is kind of the old language that, for example, the Romans used. And if you know Latin, it's quite easy to learn like science words and medical words because a lot of those words come from Latin, okay? But yeah, they didn't have Mandarin when I was there, so interesting.
even Mandarin. Class sizes at Pryor Park ensure that no matter what the question, there'll always be someone eager to help.
Our great facilities with the theatre and dance studio means everyone has the chance to get involved.
So you can see here, this is the theatre where people will study drama, you know, acting and things like that, yeah? Drama was one of my favourite subjects, and this teacher over here, he was actually there when he was my teacher. So that means he has been teaching for more than like maybe 20 or 25 years, but he was great, loads of energy, super fun, and you know, he was of course a great actor, so very interesting. And you can even see there's a kind of place for the audience to sit in the background, and often there would be lots of school plays, so it was very fun.
Not just on stage, but behind the scenes and lighting tech. This is also where we perform our inter-house music.
So another really nice thing, if I go back a little bit, where is it? Over here.
Stage, but behind.
So not just on stage, but behind the scenes and lighting tech, yeah? So when we did these school plays, it was really cool because we needed students to act and, you know, be on stage, but we also needed students to control the lights, you know, carry on when there's a scene change. They would carry the props and the objects and things like that. There were people in charge of the costumes. So it was, you know, like a real kind of performance, okay? So it was a great chance for students to kind of see what it's like and try doing these things like a real theatre stage play. Okay. Hi, Yulia. Nice to see you. But yes, let's move on.
The scenes and lighting tech. This is also where we perform our inter-house music and have fun together. Prior's always taught us to have a go.
Have a go means to try something. Yeah, try something even if you're not confident. And can anyone tell me, looking at this room, what do you think this room is used for? What subject do you think it's used? Or why or how is it used? Can anyone guess? Maybe if you have practiced or studied this subject before, you might know. It's quite an open space. Sound and light, that's a good guess, Shenshi. It's not sound and light. I mean, sound and lights are important in this room, but what do people do in this room? Can anyone guess? I'll give you 5 seconds to guess. What do people do or study in this room? You can see there are no desks, so maybe it's something a bit more physical. Actually, I forgot, was there a video of this? This is the dance studio. Okay, so people will actually do a lot of dancing here with some nice speakers playing the music.
When you get to upper sixth, there are a number of leadership.
Again, upper sixth, meaning I think that is 17 years old, the year just before university.
Roles to fulfill. These include heads of houses, Eco Prior and our charities committee. These roles help to prepare the upper sixth.
Oh, I don't know why it did that. I apologise. So,
these roles help to prepare the upper sixth for university as well as...
Yeah, so remember, these students are getting ready for university. They are almost adults, so they have a lot more responsibility.
The wider future.
A nice open area here, yeah, where you can relax in the sun and play games.
The part that I love most about these positions is the chance to give back to the school that's created such a wide range of opportunities for me.
Being a student means you face challenges, and recently we've faced many. However,
so she said recently we've faced many challenges. I think the reason why she said recently is because this was filmed during COVID. Yeah, so this was in the middle of the pandemic. Okay, so that's why she says recently we've had a lot of challenges.
We faced many. However, the close pastoral relationship we share with so many of our teachers means I feel confident that I have their continuous support, not only from our teachers, but our tutors, house mistresses, and the Wellbeing Centre.
Prior also has a really great peer mentor system, whereby the upper sixth, after a couple of training sessions, have the opportunity.
So, oh, why does it do that? I don't know why it's doing that, sorry.
The close pastoral relations, mistresses.
The great peer mentor system, whereby the upper sixth, after a couple of training sessions, have the
Okay, it's okay now. So you can see here during COVID, you know, this is the place where, I don't know why he's not wearing a mask, but most of them are wearing masks. And as you can see here at the top, there are lots of flags. So this is the language corridor, okay, where people go to learn Spanish, French, and so on.
Opportunity to pair up with younger members of the school and help guide them through any social or emotional problems they may be having. The conversations I had when I was younger coming up through the school really stuck with me, and this feels like a really great way to give back.
So that boy was just saying that there is a kind of system where the older students can pair with a younger student, right? So if the younger student has like a question or they're worried about something, they can just ask the older student. And for the older student, it's a nice way to kind of help the school and kind of give back or contribute by, you know, giving advice and things like that. So it's a nice kind of system. Of course, I don't know how they pair the students, maybe based on relationship or maybe in the same house, but it sounds like a nice system.
Sometimes forget what an awe-inspiring place Prior is to study. All it takes is a walk around our art department, where this special location evokes so much creativity. Our exceptional teachers allow all curiosity to flourish.
Now, if sports are more your kind of thing, I'm sure you'll find something here at Prior. Not only do we have regular...
So this sports centre is very new and it was very expensive, right? But yeah, when I was in school, this was not here.
Sessions of hockey, netball and tennis for the girls, and rugby, hockey and cricket for the boys, but also offer a wide range of extracurricular activities.
So you can see in different countries they have different sets of sports that are popular. So if we go back one more time, in the UK, the popular sports are
So hockey, netball and
hockey, netball and tennis, and for the boys,
tennis for the girls, and rugby, hockey and cricket for the boys. But
yeah, so rugby, hockey and cricket. If you don't know what cricket is like you have to wear a helmet. It's similar to baseball, but it's not as popular, I think. But I actually prefer baseball, but cricket, it's okay.
also offer a wide range of extracurricular activities. These include team sports like badminton, football and basketball, and solo sports.
Oh, this is cricket. Yeah, you can see you have to swing under the arm.
Like circuit training, dance, sailing and gym. Monument Field. Prior also offers CCF and Duke of Edinburgh, as well as a range of after-school activities, whether it be archery or robotics. So we really do cater for everyone.
And I hope you too have the opportunity to experience it soon.
And there you go. So that's it. All right, there we go. So yeah, it's a lot of like, how do I say it? It was a very nice school. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved it, but it was, of course, very expensive. And my parents are not like super rich, but of course, you know, we are very lucky because my family owns a business. But yeah, you don't actually have to be very smart to get into this school. You just have to pay quite a lot of money. And the teachers there were very, very good. So that's probably why. But anyway, let's move on, finally. So looking at extracurricular activities, yeah. In British schools, it mentioned a few just then, but there was like robotics, archery. These are kind of like after school or outside of the normal, you know, syllabus or curriculum, okay? So one example of these things, what is this? Can anyone tell me what kind of event or activity is this? Can anyone have a guess? Yeah? So they're outside, obviously, but is it a sport? I'm just going to take a quick drink. Can anyone tell me what is this activity? Ooh, Soma says a science trip. That's a good guess. You're close. It is a type of trip, not a science one though. I'll give you a few more seconds to type your answers. It is a trip, but not a science trip. I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maggie is very close. A scout trip. I would say that's a good answer, yeah. So it's a field trip for survival, learning how to survive in the wild, yeah, in the outside, yeah. But this is quite a nice activity. You can see, I think they are learning how to tie ropes. Maybe they're learning how to tie things together using a rope, yeah. Because of course, learning how to tie a rope and a strong like knot, that's super important. That could save your life, especially if you're like rock climbing or something like that, okay? So yes, a very good field trip. And then, oops, we have this over here. I don't know if this is a useful skill, but you can see here. Can anyone tell me, what is this person holding? What's the name of this object? Sometimes we use this to chop wood, But what do we call this object, this thing? It's like, sometimes you use this to chop wood. It is indeed very well done, Yulia and Maggie. It is an axe, okay? So this is an axe throwing competition, I guess. It's maybe just for fun. But yeah, I've never done that before. And then, of course, making a fire. Probably, maybe the most important survival skill, making a fire. Because if you can't make a fire, you're going to freeze, especially at night. You need to cook food. So, yeah, some people say that fire was the most important invention. I don't know if it's an invention, but most important skill for humans. Yeah. But there we go. Okay. So let's have a look at the next extracurricular event or activity. Interesting. It looks like just a normal group photo, but you can see the kind of, they are all sitting on different levels. I don't think anyone will be able to guess, so I'll give you the answer. This is the debate competition, okay? And again, you can see here the ties are a certain color. This is like blue with red. But this is the Burton House, I want to say. But this is a debate competition. And if we look at the girls, unfortunately, none of them are wearing the ties. But some of them are wearing the sports uniform, as you can see over here. Yeah. But this is the debate competition. And you can see here the main debate, the question was, this house would ban the use of social media for everyone under the age of 16. Okay, so I think they were arguing we should ban social media for anyone under 16, and then the other side would say nope, we should let people under 16 use social media. So we had a for and against side. Okay, so yeah, this is really good, especially if you want to improve your English and just improve your public speaking skills, because of course when you're debating you have to talk in front of an audience. So maybe we can have a debate competition in the future if people are feeling brave enough. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think we should ban social media for under 16? Just a quick yes or no. Should we ban social media for all children under 16? Just a quick yes, no. What do you guys think? Solma says it looks like a court. It does look like court, doesn't it? Solma says no, we shouldn't ban social media for people under 16. Leo says yes. Interesting. So we have yes and no. Susie also says yes. Interesting. So we got 2 yes, 1 no. Hannah, 3 yes, 1 no. And why do you guys think we should ban social media? I think under 16? I would say maybe no. I think 16 is old enough, but I would say maybe like 14 or 12. But yeah, so social media is kind of a very difficult thing, isn't it? Because you can see some crazy things on social media. Unfortunately, because there's just so much content, videos, posts, pictures uploaded onto social media every day, I think it's almost impossible to control, the content and, make sure that it's okay for these young teenagers, right? But it's really difficult. Yulia says yes. Hannah, not really ban, but monitor. That's a good point. Yeah, maybe we don't completely ban it, but maybe we just watch it or monitor it. But then I guess that means we need more people to kind of manage the content. Who knows? Maybe they will use AI in the future to manage the content. But anyway, good stuff. And next, Can anyone tell me what kind of event this is? That's okay, Hannah. Nice to see you. So, we had debate competition, a field trip. What is this? Just a few words. Can anyone describe to me what is this event? A concert. Very good. That is a good guess. Yeah, I would say this. This is house music. Okay. The girl in the video, the girl did talk about inter-house music. Do you remember the place where they did drama that was acting? This is the theatre where they do house music. And it's called house music because we compete in the different houses, okay? So for example, I was... Which one was it? It was over... Sorry, I've lost it. Ah, here we go. Not Gryffindor, sorry. So the girls' houses, I was in Allen House. Yeah, and you can see this in my tie over here. I was in Allen. Oh, baby Eric, oh, so cute. Anyway, sorry. But the different houses would compete in the house competition. And at the end of the event, they would give a special gold cup to the best house. And there were different categories, actually. Let me go back over here. There were different categories. There was the solo category, so of course one musician playing like a guitar solo or a drum solo. There was the group category, there was the band, yeah. And then there was the house category, where every student in the house from lower 3 to upper 6. So if I had to guess how many students in each house, each year had about, how many? Maybe 10 to 12 students for one house. So times 5 or 6 years. So there are about 60 or 70 students per house. Okay, so it was quite a large group. So there was the solo, the group category, and the house category. Okay, you can see here, oh, it's very, very handsome young lad playing a guitar solo. So he was competing in the solo category. Then here we have the group category, one band. And then unfortunately I don't have a picture of the house category, but I do have, who is this? We have me playing the guitar in the group category when I was taking part in the house music. Okay, so I will say I'm okay at guitar, but actually nowadays I don't play electric guitar. I play acoustic guitar, but yeah, electric's really fun. But anyway, I felt so cool. I was like, we were playing a rock song. It was from Yellow Card, I believe, but yeah, it was a really nice song. Anyway, I will show you a very embarrassing photo. So depending on the song that you choose, people dress up in different costumes, yeah? Here, I'm just wearing my normal casual clothes, but in the house category, we did a song from... Does anyone know Kiss? It's a heavy metal rock band. So everybody was wearing heavy makeup like black and white face paint. So I've got a special treat for you guys here. This is me at the house category. Oh my gosh! So we have this kind of guy here. This famous band is called Kiss, and they do a lot of heavy metal. And our house group was doing this kind of song, so that's why I dressed up. And everybody was like this. It's not just me, okay? But I remember it took so long to put on the face paint and everything. And like, you know, boys, we don't put on makeup. We don't know what we're doing. So like, it was just really funny because as we were preparing for the event, all of the boys were just trying to put on makeup for each other. And it's like, oh, how do I look? Do I look okay? Yeah, you look good. You look good. I was like, oh, can you put a bit more black here, a bit more white here? And it was just really funny. A good memory. But yeah, I can't remember who did my makeup, but yeah, when I looked in the mirror, I was just like, I have to take a picture of this. But anyway, nice dress up. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a nice mask. But there we go. And then the wag. Oh, the wig. Yeah, the fake hair was a bit fake. A bit fake. It was very fake, right? Like very plastic. And I remember, because in the house category, we choose a song, but we also do the dancing as well. So I can't remember the dance moves, but it's kind of like you're singing and dancing at the same time. So as I was dancing, and there was one point where I was doing this, and of course the hair was going up and down because it was very long. And I remember, I think one person's wig fell off when they were dancing, so like, and then it fell off, and it went, oh, and then they quickly put it on, and then they quickly put it back on. So it was really funny, but yeah, the dancing was really fun as well. So there we go. Anyway, yeah, it does take a long time to remove the makeup, so there we go. Okay, the next event, can anyone tell me, looking at the picture, what is this event? Any ideas? Again, we can see here the special icon or the emblem. This is Roach. And yes, that's right, Hannah. You can see over here it says Roach House Dinner. Okay. I can't remember when we do this. I think it's at the end of the year, but we have house dinners. Okay. So sometimes there will be, I guess this is the house master. I don't know this man because these are very recent photos, but I guess he's the teacher, the housemaster for Roach. And here we have some students making a speech, and then we have some very nice photos of the people enjoying the dinner. Okay, and this is in the main dining hall. This is where all of the students go to have lunch and dinner. Okay, so if you guys know Harry Potter, do you know that famous scene where Harry Potter and all of the other students, they go to this huge hall, and there are like super long tables where they have lunch or dinner? It's kind of similar to this. By the way, if you want to see the real place where they filmed Harry Potter, you should go to, I think it's Oxford University, and I think they do have like tour guides around Oxford University. I've been there. It's very cool, especially with those like paintings. You know, in the movie they have like these moving paintings where there are ghosts like coming out of the paintings. But yeah, so we have this house dinner in the main lunch or dining hall. Okay, and it looks like this. Okay, you can see, I think usually the teachers sit over here and all of the students usually sit on any other table. Okay, but of course this is not big enough for every school. What was it? I'm being stupid. It's not big enough for all of the students in the school at the same time. So they basically separate. At lunchtime, it's usually year one or, you know, year whatever at this time, the next year at this time, and the next year. So we slowly we switch as we go into the lunch hall. Okay? Otherwise, it's just not enough space. So we have the very nice lunch hall, and this is the kind of end of year celebration. Okay, it doesn't normally look so fancy and you know, elegant. Okay, but another nice, you can see here there's, you know, a wide range of students. Again, some students from Europe, from Asia, I think maybe like Hong Kong, Africa or UK students as well, of course. And then we have a very nice photo of them, you know, posing in front of the city. You can't see it here, but behind here there is the view of the city, and it's very nice. And some more photos here. Okay, it looks like a really nice camera. I think they hire a professional photographer to kind of take these pictures, because they are all on the main website. So there we go. Very nice. Love the vibe. Very good, Hannah. Yeah, it's a really nice vibe. Very happy. And I think, yeah, it looks like they're drinking champagne. Wow, very nice. I guess they're 18, 17, so it's okay. All right. And yes, you can see here, this is the opposite side. So they took the picture here, and this is further down the hill. Okay. And if we look down again, the quality is not the best, but this is what you can see behind the school. So we have the city and a nice lake. I don't know if there is anything in this lake, but there's a famous bridge and the beautiful view of the city. Okay. Interestingly, you can see here, it's quite a steep hill, right? So when it snows in winter, a lot of the students actually go sledding down this hill. Yeah, I think it's actually quite dangerous. But some of the students go sledding down the hill because it's really steep. So a good place to go sledding if you are a student at this school. So there you go. All right. So going back, here we have the girls' dinner. There you go, looking very fancy, nice dresses. And then some of the teachers and the staff. Oh, I said earlier there are some great teachers. This man on the left, oh, Mr. Blakely. He was my maths teacher, and he is probably one of my favorite teachers, you know, of all time. He was just like so supportive, super kind. His classes were super fun, and he always would be happy to help these like not so good students. I was not so good at math. And another interesting thing, I don't know about the school system in your country, but please do tell me. Students are sometimes separated by level, okay? So usually for the main subjects like English, science and math, there are the very smart and fast students who are in what we call set 1, like level 1, the highest level. Like these students can, you know, learn very quickly, and the teacher can kind of move at a faster pace with the study materials. And then we have the level 5 or set 5, where the students need a bit more support, which is totally okay, right? For me, I was put in set 1 for math. Asians, for some reason, people have a stereotype that Asians are very good at math. I don't know if that's true, but anyway. So I was in set 1, but I was probably better in set 2 or 3. Like, I was okay for the first half of the year, but after some time I started to struggle. He said, "Does everyone understand?" And I was like, yes. I just followed everyone. But he would also always like help me after class. He would give me advice, and he was like so kind. One of my favorite teachers. Wonderful human being. Anyway, so going back, I'm surprised he's still there. Wow. But anyway, so a wonderful view, especially the night view you can see in the background here. Yeah. Sorry, Hannah says there are different levels among students. That's good, yeah. Radiant, a very nice word. But yeah, they all look great. And here we can have a different view of the girls' dinner. Okay, very fancy, very nice. Here is the next event, a very nice event. They didn't have this when I was there, but you can see all of these different flags. Can anyone guess what is this event? Can anyone tell me? So we've had a debate competition, we've had an end of year dinner? A play? That's a good idea, Hannah. It's not a play. Looking at the different flags and everybody is wearing different clothes. This is the Culture Day, where people, all very good, Julia, international meeting, kind of, it's a culture day where they kind of share a little bit about their own culture, yeah? Can anyone recognize some of these, like, different, what do you call it, outfits? Like, what countries do you think these are? I guess I want to say the red one is China, but maybe it's Vietnam because of the hat. I'm not sure. I have no idea about this brown and the white one. What is she holding? What is that thing she is holding? Is it a cup? I want to guess the black shirt. It says Simru. I think that's Welsh, I think. And then the beautiful blue dress here, I want to say that's Africa or something. Oh, definitely, this is either China or Hong Kong, the lion dragon dance, very famous. What's this black one? Korea? Japan? I'm not sure. But there we go, a lot of nice different countries here, okay? All right, so let's move on. And then this is another event, a very important event that I think every country around the world does. What is this event? Can anyone tell me? I'll make it a bit bigger. What is the name of this event? Ooh, hiking marathon. You guys are very close. What is the name of an event where you do many different physical sports? There's 2 words. In the UK, we call this Sports Day. Very simple, Sports Day, yeah? And you might do a marathon, you might do a race or something like that, similar to the Olympics, right? Now, I like this guy in the top right. He looks like a traffic cone, which we usually use to, like, separate the road and the course and things like that, but very funny. So, can anyone tell me, what is this event here? What famous event is she doing? We have this in the Olympics. Any guesses? 10, 9, 8, 7. What is the name of this event? 3, 2, 1. Very well done, Julia and Hannah. We have the long jump, yeah, where you have to jump as far as possible, okay? And then the next one. What is this? This one's really difficult. You have to be really strong and you have to have good technique. Does anyone know the name of this event? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hannah is close. Shot put, we would say. Shot put, okay? I don't know if it's 1 word or 2, but shot put is a very nice activity, okay? Well done, Hannah. Good job. And next one. This one can be quite dangerous if you're not careful. You can see no one is in front of him. He's throwing this long stick. What do we call this event? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Well done. This is indeed the javelin. The javelin, okay? Where you throw the stick as far as you can. Another very popular event, a team event. Many different countries have a different kind of word for this one. The English one is quite unique, I think. It's actually 3 words. 3 words. So this one's a bit more difficult. Okay, are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Very well done. Hannah's on fire. Eddie, nice to see you. And Nati, very nice. Good job. And by the way, it is Eddie's birthday, I hear. So happy birthday, Eddie. Very nice. I hope you have a nice birthday celebration. So tug of war. This is where two teams try to kind of pull the rope as hard as they can. Okay. All right. Now, the next one. What's this? Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see here. This man is holding a stick. Very good. It is a race. It is a kind of marathon. Does anyone know the specific type of race? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a team sport where you pass the baton to the next person. This is called, the relay race. I see, I don't know your name, but one of the people did say relay race. Well done. Okay, so this is the relay race, yeah, where you have the kind of team. And you can see in the picture the different colors, yeah. So we have blue, we have red and purple. These are the different houses, okay. For all of these events, we have the debate competition, we have the house music, and so on. Each event throughout the year, you will get points. Yeah, again, similar to Harry Potter, where, you know, in the Quidditch tournament, where they're flying on their brooms, the winner will get 10 points, the second place will get 5 points, and so on. And at the end of the year, there will be a house awards ceremony where they will calculate all of the points for the sports events, the music events, and so on. And then the winning house will get a huge golden trophy, yeah. So Sports Day is one of the biggest events, okay? So we have, again, I don't know, they've changed the colors, but we have Roach, which is green. I think English is red, and then Burton is the red boys house. But anyway, okay. So interesting. So Hannah says that it's different from the relay race in China. They have to be on their own lane. Now, yes, usually if it's a traditional relay race, like on a field with this like circular track, yes, we do have these like lanes and you have to stick to your own lane. But this one is more of a long distance relay, and actually it's they go around the school, and the route is actually a bit complicated, which is why they don't stick to these lanes. Okay, can I show you a picture? If we go back here, yeah, so you can see there's actually like a garden, and there's like a route outside around the school, and I think maybe they run down this like long road here, but again, I'm not sure exactly. Yes, so you can see the picture over here. If we zoom in here, this is the main house. This is where they have the house dinners. What was it? Sorry. So we have the house dinners over here, and then you can see the view from the back of the mansion house, and then they were all running across this road. And they go all the way around, they go around the school over here, and I think it's something like this, yeah. So it's very difficult to separate the lanes because actually some of the course is outside of the school, so that's why, okay. All right, going back to, where were we? Yes, the relay, okay. And then just some more pictures, yeah. I was always very bad at running. I hated running. My excuse is that I have asthma. I have a disease where sometimes if I like have too much dust, my throat goes and then it's very hard for me to breathe, and I go and then I have to like press this inhaler and I go and then my throat opens up again. So I was never very good at running, but people who have asthma can still be very good athletes. I'm just unhealthy. I'm just lazy, so I can't use that as an excuse. But there we go. I hate running. Does anyone here like running? Because I hate running. Hannah says I'm good at intellect activities. That's very sweet. Thank you. But it's not just me that hates running then. Jane likes it. Very good. You must be very healthy. And you can see here the supporter on the right, the traffic cone man. Very interesting. Yeah, and some people cheering for their, people in their houses. A very nice event. Yeah. Okay, good stuff. When I was a student, I liked it more interesting. Yeah, I guess it's more fun when you have these like competitions, when you're running with your friends and you're like practicing together. But yeah, sometimes it can be a bit lonely running. But then sometimes you see those like in larger cities, there are these like running meetup events, like in Tokyo, in London, where lots of adults will go running together. And they're just like, they're talking while they're running. And I think, how do they talk while running? Because I have no breath. Like, I have no energy to talk. They'll be like, hey, Eric, how's it going? And I'm like, yeah, oh, okay. And like, it's just crazy. Like, I don't know how they are not out of breath. But anyway, okay. So the next one, let's have a look here. Can anyone tell me what is this event? Not Sports Day, this is the next event. It is a quiz. Very good job, Yulia. It is a quiz, but can anyone tell me what subject this is? Yulia says she also hates running. If it's a race, you can't talk and run at the same... That's true. If it's a race, you can't talk. Hannah says math. Let's just quickly read the question together. So it says here, old Martha has 5 children, each of whom has 4 children, each of whom has 3 children, each of whom is childless. How many descendants does old Martha have? Okay, right, let me get my whiteboard here to quickly explain. Okay, so what it's saying here is we have... I'm not going to do the math question because I'm not so good at math. But if we have... Oops. We have Martha here. Okay. Oop. Can you see it? So we have Martha at the top here. And the question says, old Martha has 5 children. Okay? So, 5 children. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so she has 5 children, right? And then it says, the grammar is a bit difficult here, but it says, each of whom has 4 children. So basically, this means each child has 4 more children, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so basically it's saying Martha has 5 children, times 4, times 3, and so on. So basically, it's asking you how many how many children does Martha have, which is probably quite a lot. Yeah, if anybody can tell me, I'd be very impressed. I'm not good at math, so there we go. And of course, they have a time limit. Yeah. So basically, I think the way they do it is like they actually did this math competition in the gymnasium. So it's a large space, right? And if we go back, you can see everybody is sitting quite far away. This is like from here, from the seats to the front, is like maybe like 15, 20 meters or something like that. So actually what they did was they have the question, and then the students sitting far away, they have to run when they know the answer, and then they have to like press a button. So it's a bit of like physical activity, but also mental activity. So it's really cool. Anyway, there are a lot of people solving the answer, solving the question. Let's look. So somebody says 37, 60, 61, 20, 60. A lot of people saying 60. Oh, Anas says 85. I have no idea. I'm not going to do it now. But anyway, so basically, actually, I'm quite curious about the answer. Anyway, okay, maybe somebody can tell me next time. Most people are saying 60, so I think 60 is probably the right answer. Good job, guys. You guys were very good at math. And actually, you can see here, in the bottom right, this is the trophy. Yeah, the first place house will get the trophy and 10 house points or something like that. And you can see here in the bottom, Arundel, that is one of the houses. So I think, oh, you can see a button at the front here as well. So I guess they have to run and press the button. Yeah. So this is the math competition. Yeah, not just math class. I think they use the math competition as a fun way to help prepare the students for their math tests. Yeah. So, yeah. This is why I really like this teacher, because he does a lot of like really fun things. So there we go. Okay. And then I think we had maybe the house master or a teacher, a maths teacher helping some of the students. Yeah. Or maybe she's just, you know, writing down the score or something like that. Okay. Jane asks, are they college students? Yes, but be careful. They are UK college students. So that means 15 to 18 years old. This is before university. In America, you would say high school students. Okay? All right, great stuff. So you can see here, maybe some teachers giving support to some of the students. Oh, and you can see there, how do these students feel? Yeah, what is the emotion on their face? Yeah, we have a lot of mixed emotions here. Like, if I were here, this would probably be me. I would be like thinking really seriously, or like, I'd be like, okay, 1+2. I'll be like, using my whiteboard. I'll be like panicking or something like that. Yeah, and then we have this guy over here. Oh, it's so close, like, maybe they didn't get the point or they were not close enough. And I think this guy, he reminds me of, you know, in baseball, when you have the umpire and they are running all around the diamond and then they get to the home plate and the umpire is like, safe! And it's like, it's kind of that gesture, right? So we have a really nice thing here, okay? And then the next one, oh, of course, them racing, running to press the button and get the answer, okay? So this was a really fun maths competition, okay? I wish I was good at math. So then you can see here the winners. What house are they? I can't remember. I think, by the way, you can see their ties are different colors. Actually, when you get to 6th form, when you get to 17 and 18, the school recognizes you as an adult, so they give you more freedom for like the tie that you wear. Now, usually, again, I'll quickly show you, depending on your house, you have to wear a different tie, okay? So as you can see here, oh, baby Eric again, people are wearing, in Roach, they wear a green tie, and in Allen, they wear a blue, and there was a yellow part. It's hard to see here, but I was in Allen, and I had to wear this slightly yellow tie. But when you get to 6th form, you don't have to wear the house ties. Okay, just for the lower years. All right, so very good thing here. So that's it for this section. That was my college from maybe 15 to 18. Now let's have a look at the other place. I'm going to show you a little bit about my university, which is far away from London, all the way here in Wales. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Wales is on the left over here. And then we have England, which is like all of this over here. And then if we go back over here. So basically, Ireland, bam. We have Scotland, bam. England, here, and then Wales, here. So I went to school in England, in Bath. Hello. Sorry. I went to college in Bath, which is a World Heritage Site, but I went to university over here in a place called Swansea. Okay, as you can see, this is right next to the sea, and actually the campus was very close to the sea. Yeah, actually that's not the campus, it's further to the left, like it's probably further over here. But an interesting thing, a very funny thing, was Swansea is right next to the sea. The campus is right next to the sea. So as a result, it was very windy. Yeah. So one thing, I had my homework and I was getting ready for class. I was traveling from my dormitory and I had to walk to the campus, right? So one day I was just walking along maybe this road here, and then suddenly a huge gust of wind. I think I was reviewing my notes or something, so I was holding the paper in my hand, and then sudden gust of wind, whoosh, and guess what happened? I dropped the paper. So the paper went whoosh into the sea. And then I was like, well, I don't have time to print it again and I'm going to be late. So I had to run and I was like, oh no, what do I do? My homework was in the sea. And then I went to the lecturer and then he said, Eric, where's your homework? And then I said, you will not believe me. I am not lying. I swear on my life, I am telling the truth. My homework is in the sea. The strong sea wind blew it out of my hands and so on. And he said, do you know how many times I have heard this excuse? And I was like, it's not an excuse. I swear I'm telling the truth. And then I just printed it and I gave it to him the next day. But yeah, of course, students will always make excuses like, oh, my dog ate my homework, or oh, I dropped it in the bathtub or something like that. But I'm a good boy. I don't lie. Anyway, so we have Swansea. What was it? Sorry, let me just quickly read some of the comments. Yes, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, and England. Okay. Where is London Metropolitan? London Metropolitan University is in London, but this is far away from London. Poor Eric, I know, right? Ask the wind. That's a good sentence. There we go. Gone with the wind. All right, so let's move on. And can you find the Eric? Can you see University Eric? I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Da, da, da. This is University Eric. You can see here in the background. So this is what we call the Freshers' Fair. Okay, now if you ever go to the UK and you talk about university, sometimes you will hear the word fresher. Fresher, fresh meaning like new. Can anyone guess what a fresher is when talking about university? What is a fresher? Can anyone guess? What do you think? Very well done. Good job. Yes, it is a first year student. Well done, August, Hannah. And good job finding me, guys. I guess you guys are very quick at like finding things. But yes, a fresher is a casual word for a first year student. Very similar. In America, they say, can anyone tell me? Who knows American English here? UK, fresher. America, freshman. Very good. Well done. Okay, good job, good job. So, here is the Freshers' Fair, where, after you join the university, on maybe the second or third day of university, there is a big tent, yeah? There's a big tent and lots of booths where different societies, we call it. In college, secondary school and primary school, we call them clubs, but I don't know why in university we call them societies, which is the same thing as a club. Yeah, we have the, what did we have? We had the tennis society, we had the United Nations Society, debate society, there was a video game society, anime society, so just things where you can go, meet people with similar interests and just do fun things, yeah? And the one that I volunteered for, I was helping to advertise and gather new students. I was a part of the English Corner event. Yeah, I have talked about this in my streams before, but you can see here, free conversation, okay? So as you can see, there are many foreign students, a lot from China, Hong Kong, Italy, Africa, and so on. And I don't know about you guys, but if you have studied abroad in a foreign country where the local language is not your mother tongue, you know it's really difficult, right? To kind of just to live there, to make friends, to practice your language skills, because it's scary, it's embarrassing, and it's difficult, right? Because of course, if you speak to natives, sometimes they speak too fast, and then sometimes their accent is quite strong. So English Corner was an event or a kind of place where volunteers, and actually you can see here in the picture, the people wearing the red shirts, for example, this woman here, and also this woman was also a teacher. They had teaching experience. They knew how to teach foreigners and they would speak more slowly and so on. You know, similar to what I'm doing right now, okay? But this was a club for people, society, sorry. This was a society where people could come to practice their English, you know, in a relaxed, casual environment. It wasn't a language school, it was just a relaxed, casual event, okay? And it happened at this place. Can anyone tell me what is this kind of building? Yeah? As a special word for this kind of building, can anyone tell me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. Good job, guys. It is a church. But actually, very good vocabulary, you guys. Some of you said church, cathedral, and chapel. Okay? Do you guys know the difference between these three words? It's very simple. Biggest, cathedral. Medium size, church. Very small, chapel. Okay? So like, for example, a chapel might be like a smaller part. It might be just one room, right? It's usually attached onto a larger building. Okay, a church is just one building with many rooms. Yeah, usually there's the main hall where you do the service, and then maybe there's a storage room, a piano room, or something like that. Yeah, and a cathedral, super big. You know, imagine in the cities, you have what do you call it? Westminster Cathedral. Is it Westminster? Westminster Cathedral in London. You know, when the Queen does a speech or a Christmas speech or something like that, they will go to the cathedral to, you know, give a huge speech. Yeah, so cathedral, church, chapel, biggest to smallest. Okay, this is a church. Okay, and then this is where the English Corner event happened. So let's have a look inside. Oh, English Corner. This was the name of the event, and you can see, whoa, who is this handsome looking man? No, I'm joking. So this was me. This was me before I had any teaching experience. This was before I became a teacher. At this time, I was third year university student, and I just wanted to, you know, help people. I wanted to volunteer and help these foreign language learners. So we were doing a speech or a presentation on challenges. Okay, the topic, the theme was challenges. Okay, and sometimes, of course, we have to do a few games, right? You can see in the, what was it, whiteboard at the back, you can see team 1. Oops, we have team 1 over here, and then we have team 2 over here. And you might notice something interesting over here. So, what was it? The reason why I say this is interesting over here, when you count a score in the UK, I think different countries, why am I looking here? Different countries have different ways of counting scores. Especially when writing, yeah? So for example, if I say, let's say you get 1 point, very good job, I might write 1, okay? Using this vertical line. And then 2, 3, 4, and then 5. This is how we count scores. Of course, you can write, you know, 1, 2, 3. If you're doing a final score, you might write a number. But when counting in real time, we would usually use this system. But what about in your country? Because I know in, again, I will use Japan because I know about Japan, but they will do this. They will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the reason is this character means correct in Japanese, and it has 5 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in Japan they count like this, but in the UK we count using the lines. Okay, bit of culture for you there. Okay, all right, let me have a look. Sorry, just a quick look at the comments. What was it? Chapel depends on the size. Yeah. Eric was giving a speech, that's right. And then you were a very active student. I mean, in this case, I was the volunteer or the teacher. Oh, I see. You mean like volunteering as a university student. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, going to university and just, you know, staying in your room, not going to societies, it feels like a waste. Right? Because university is the last time you get to kind of interact with large groups of people, right? Like when you start working, you go to the same company and then you just do the same work every day, and it's really hard to find, you know, just more friends, more things to do and things like that. So yeah, I really liked just doing lots of things like sports, different societies and so on. But yeah, there we go. Let's have a look. And then that is the Chinese. Ah, it's the same in China. Interesting. There we go. Nice. But yeah, it is interesting, August, isn't it? in Russia and, you know, other countries, do you have a different way of doing it? Or also, one more thing, how do you guys count using your fingers? Because I count like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I use 2 hands, right? But I think in Japan, they go 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Is it this one or this one? I can't remember. I think it's this one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they do it just using one hand. And I thought, that is a much better system. That's much more efficient, right? Because, for example, if I'm holding a bag in one hand, how many apples did you buy? Then if I buy 7, I would go, oh, let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It would be very difficult, right? But in Japan, it would be very easy to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or something like that. So I thought that was a really interesting cultural difference. But how do you guys count? Is it the same in China and so on? What was it? We start counting with the thumb. Yeah, I start with the thumb as well. And then, do you count? Yeah, of course, your hand is facing to you, right? No one would count like that unless you're counting for someone else, right? Like if I'm telling my students, like a young child, I might say, how many apples? 1, 2. But if I'm counting to myself, I would go 1, 2, and so on. There you go. Fingers go inside. Yeah, interesting. There we go. Some people count in their mind. That's right. Some people are like super clever. All right. Anyway, going back. So this was university, Eric. And here, just another person. You can see the size. It was about 30, maybe 40 people. Yeah, so quite a lot. It's about the same size as our live stream right now. But I remember the first time I volunteered and gave a presentation class, whew, I was nervous. I was sweating and I was like looking over my notes, and I was just so scared of like public speaking. Now, no problem. Yeah, like 100 people, fine. Okay, if I'm speaking English, of course. If you ask me to speak Japanese in front of 100 people, then I'm gonna start, you know, butterflies in my stomach, and maybe I'll start sweating. But yeah, this was my first kind of teaching experience. Yeah. But anyway, let's move on. Hui. So sometimes, of course, I was taking part in the discussion, and again, you can see a nice mix of people. I think this is my good friend over here. He is from Malaysia. I think she is Welsh. I don't know about this man. He is also a Welsh local. And I think maybe China, maybe Malaysia. I'm not sure. But anyway, so there's always a good mix of people from different countries. So it was just a great chance to kind of learn about other cultures and, you know, just to kind of, get a chance to speak to people from different countries. So we were very lucky because not every university has this kind of society. This was a very special thing. But anyway, let's move on. And then, of course, we've got to have a Christmas party. Yeah, this was a Christmas party at English Corner, not organized by the university, but you can see here, if we look, we have classic, you know, bit of Coca-Cola. And then, does anyone know what these are? Sorry if I highlighter. What are these things on the table here? It's something you must have at every Christmas party. Can anyone tell me? Ooh, August has a good question. Do Welsh people have a different type of English? They also speak English, but their accent is quite strong. It's a bit different, that's right. but they also have their own language, Welsh. And actually, I think if we look here, if I zoom in at the bottom, it says... Oh, no, that's all English. Ignore me, I was wrong. But you can see Welsh in many areas in this place. But anyway, good question. These things are Christmas crackers. Okay, so the way these work, you're supposed to pull. You basically hold one side and the person sitting next to you will pull the other side. And it's quite hard to pull. And then you pull it so that it rips apart. Rip, meaning, let me get a piece of paper here. Rip is a useful word. So rip, yeah. So you try to rip the cracker apart, and then there's this like long piece of string inside, and when it rips in two, it will go snap. It makes a large sound, right? It's very safe, but it's a small like kind of explosion. Is that the right word? But it goes bang, and then it's, you know, kind of like a party, like a popper. So it's a nice tradition at Christmas. Okay, so a very nice Christmas party. And then often every week there would be a Sunday lunch where the organizer of the English corner, it was a very, very kind Singaporean woman who organized all of this, and she created this society. And I think she has, you know, taught and taken care of like so many students all over the world. You can see here there are people from Canada, Argentina, Brazil, Italy, and so on. And the amazing thing about her was that a lot of these students, again, if you've studied abroad before, you know how stressful, how scary it can be. Many students feel very homesick. That is, when they go to university, they think, I want to go home. I want to eat, you know, Chinese food or my home food. I want to see my parents, talk to my friends. Everything in the UK is difficult. This is kind of like feeling homesick. And when I went to Japan for the first time, I did feel homesick at first. But luckily I have lots of supportive friends now. But yeah, feeling homesick is very common for people who go abroad. Yeah. So Molly, this woman, do we have a picture here? She's not in the picture, but she would support these students if they wanted advice, if they just wanted a nice home-cooked meal. She would invite them to her. And the amazing thing was, it was all free. She never asked for money, but remember, she's cooking for like, what, how many people here? There were like, I don't know, 15, 20 people, and she woke up at like 5 a.m. to get the lunch ready, and then she had to prepare for the Sunday church service. So, wow, she was amazing. But anyway, Sunday lunch was a wonderful activity. Yeah. But there we go. I have a few quick questions. Roya says, what did you study? I studied psychology in university. And were there any students from Russia? Good question. I didn't meet any students from Russia, but I think my university specialized in engineering, so there were a lot of students from India and China, because I think engineering, they're very big countries and they're still developing, so engineering was very popular for Chinese and Indian students. Russian, I don't remember meeting any Russian people, unfortunately, so yeah. But there we go. Anyway, the final thing for today, I'm going to show you a nice video of the university activities. What are we doing? Sorry, let me quickly... So yeah, there you go. You can see. Thank you. You can see there lots of people dancing. Is this a British American? Hokey pokey. It might be American. It's like a children's dance. So I think it's called the hokey pokey. Okay. I think maybe a children's dance, but you know, depending on the event, sometimes we celebrated Chinese New Year, so then we do a traditional Chinese dance, or maybe if it's like an end of year party, a Christmas party, we do a what did we do? Is there a Christmas dance? I'm not sure actually, but anyway, there were lots of different dances. Sometimes we borrowed professionals, like there was a dance teacher one time and he was teaching us an Irish dance. But yeah, lots of events, lots of fun things to do. All right, before we move on to a few school idioms, let's have a look at some of the comments. Homesick. Yeah, thankfully you have a lot of activities to connect with each other. Definitely, yeah. If you have a community and friends, then of course you don't feel so homesick. Okay. The room lighted up. That's nice. Yeah. You know, of course, when you go to that country, you want to learn about their culture, right? So, but it's not always so easy to find these communities. So, English Corner, a very special place, and that's probably why I became a teacher. If I didn't go to English Corner and I didn't meet Molly, the person in charge of this event, maybe this live stream wouldn't be happening right now. Maybe I wouldn't be teaching. I would have some boring office job, maybe. Of course, office jobs are okay too, but for me, it's not my cup of tea. Oh, there we go. Okay, right. So let's move on. For the last thing for today, I showed you a lot of videos and things like that, but I want to teach you something useful because, of course, I am an English teacher. So, school idioms. Hit the books. Can anyone tell me what does hit the books mean as an English idiom? Any ideas? I'll give you 10 seconds. For example, tomorrow I've got to hit the books. Yeah, I've got a big test next week. I have to hit the books. 3, 2, 1. August is spot on. Very well done. It means to study very hard. Okay. For example, someone says, hey, you want to go out tonight? And you say, nah, sorry, I've got a test tomorrow. I've got to hit the books. Yeah, I've got to study. Okay. Okay, no worries. Good luck. Okay. And you will notice no worries here. British people say this all the time. Yeah. No worries means no problem. Okay, so if you invite somebody and they say, oh, sorry, I'm busy, I've got to hit the books. And then you might say, no problem, no worries. Okay, no problem. Very useful phrase. Okay, hit the books. Next one, let's have a look. If you learn something off by heart, learning something off by heart, what does that mean? Any ideas? Again, I'll give you 10 seconds to write the answer. If you learn something off by heart, it means, for example, I'll show you the example in a moment. But if you learn something off by heart, by sense, or something you're interested in, good idea, voila, nice try. From the bottom of your heart, ooh, that's a different phrase, actually. The answer is from memory. August, very well done, yeah? Thank you, Lalabella. When you feel something from the bottom of your heart, to feel something from the bottom of your heart, like, what was it? I feel sad for him from the bottom of my heart. It just means you feel very sad, very strongly about something. Yeah, so you have this like deep emotion at the bottom of your heart, and it's coming out of your mouth. So you feel very happy, grateful, sad, and so on. Okay, so there we go. But learning something, or maybe memorizing, saying something off by heart, means from memory. Okay, for example, we have this. Can anyone tell me what is this special number? I think you might recognize this. 3.14. It is indeed pi. Very well done, yeah? And people have these like crazy competitions, or like, what was it? Competitions, or maybe the Guinness World Records, where people can remember, you know, pi off by heart up to like 100, 200 digits. It's crazy. But anyway, so can anyone tell me 3.14? Who can remember the most digits? Can anyone tell me 3.14? Does anyone know the next number? Hannah gave us the clear ratio of the circumference to... Did you check AI? I don't believe you. There's no way. How do you remember that? Okay, let's check. I'll give you 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's check the answer. 3.141596? No, 92653. Wow, that is really impressive. Well done, guys. Jeez, I can see you guys have a very good memory. It's really interesting. Some people have like an amazing memory for numbers or places or names, and other people have, you know, amazing memory of words and like other things. Like, it's very interesting how memory works. And I've studied it in psychology, and it's just fascinating. But anyway, to learn something off by heart, okay? Yeah, so all of these English phrases, these idioms, you need to learn them off by heart so that you can use them anywhere, anytime, okay? Okay, great. So let's move on over here. We have this interesting ship. Our next idiom comes from this scene where you can see here. What is this? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are these things? Wow, Hannah just remembered it. Wow, that is amazing. So, sorry, 1 second, let me take a drink, sorry. So, yes, we do have a flag. Very well done. Now, if I click on this, a flag is this thing that shows the identity of a country and things like that. But a long time ago, these were also called colours. Okay, probably because there are many different colours on the flag. Nowadays, we do not say colours instead of flags. We just say flags, okay? But it's important for this next idiom to pass with flying colours. This means to be very successful. And the reason why we say to pass with flying colours is because a long time ago, when, well, maybe like 100, 200 years ago, many ships would go out to sea and they would explore new places and they would fight a lot, right? And when they come back, one way to signal information from a long distance away was by using the flags, right? And for example, I can't see exactly which country. I wanted to say India, but I don't think it's green. I think it's blue. It might be India, I'm not sure. But you can see here, the flag is a very clear symbol. It's very easy to see from a long distance away. So if the flag, when they come home from a battle or a war, if it's flying at the top, It means they won the battle. They were successful. And then all of these people you can see here, they're like very happy. They're like, yeah, come back, yeah. And then, you know, they have a nice party. But sometimes the flag will be down, okay? If the flag is not showing or it's not at the top of the pole, then it means they were unsuccessful or they didn't, you know, succeed. So it's a bit, you know, of a sad situation, okay? So at the top, pass with flying. It only flies when it's at the top because of the wind, yeah? So flying colors, flying flag, successful. That's where the idiom comes from. But nowadays, we don't really use this so often. We only use it when talking about exams and tests, okay? So in school. Before, I think the other week, my student had an important exam. So we did our lesson, and at the end of the lesson, I said, don't worry, you'll be fine, you're very smart. You've learned a lot of things off by heart, so I'm sure you'll pass with flying colors, yeah? So you're gonna get a very good score, okay? All right, great stuff. Oh, is it Egypt? Interesting. Very good, well done. And then they have to have the flag high to show their success. Exactly, Hannah, well done, okay? All right, let's move on. This is not an idiom, but extra information. Can anyone tell me what? I will be very impressed if anyone can tell me, what does this emblem mean? Empire? Good guess. It is not the empire. There is a crown. Very good. Yeah. Well, the royal family, that's a good guess. Well, I'm gonna move on and I'll show you the answer. But first of all, looking here on the left, what do you notice? What is strange about the flag? Yeah, of course we have Big Ben, but what is strange about the flag? Can anyone tell me? And bonus question, can anyone tell me the meaning of this flag? Very good. So, as August correctly said, the flag is half down. It's what we call at half mast. You don't need to know this, but usually it's at the top, right? So that, you know, it's flying, it's a signal, everything's normal. But there's a very special situation when we lower the flag to half mast. Good guess. The Queen is at home. Very nice. Left the residence. That's a very good guess, August. The answer is to say that someone important has died. Okay? So Hannah, really well done. Yeah. Queen Elizabeth II, and you can see here 2 and E. E meaning Elizabeth and 2 meaning the second. I actually don't know what R means. Royal family? I'm not sure. But anyway, I think on the day that Elizabeth died, sorry, I should say pass away. Die is a bit more like not so polite. The day she passed away, they lowered the flag to show everyone, everybody please be respectful, be a bit more quiet. The Queen has passed away. Okay, so this does not happen very often. And that's why everything is all grey. It's to show that it's a sad day. We shouldn't be loud. Don't have any parties. Let's just, you know, be silent for the Queen. Okay, because she was a great queen. She was a wonderful figure for many people. So there we go. Okay, very good. Elizabeth II has passed away. All right, that is it for today. Thank you all very much for joining me, and for those of you who maybe you missed the first part, I did show some really cool videos and pictures at the beginning of the presentation, so if you were late and you didn't if you were not able to see the beginning, you can find my stuff on YouTube as usual. Yeah, when I press the button, the live will be automatically uploaded to YouTube, and you can find my link in the Hello Talk chat in the pinned comment. Okay? Alright, great stuff. And of course you can follow me on social media for, you know, speaking advice, idioms, all of that stuff, and YouTube, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So, let's end it there. Now let's just have a quick look at some of the comments. Okay? Just looking. Oh, I love this lady. Who said that? Hannah, yes. Yeah, she was a great queen. She was very, how do I say it? She was one of the longest reigning monarchs, meaning she was one of the longest like leaders of any country in the world. I don't think she was number 1. I think she was number 2 or 3 or something like that, but she did a wonderful job. King Charles, on the other hand, he doesn't have the best reputation. And many people make lots of jokes about him, like saying, oh, he's the king now, but he's gonna, fingers crossed, you know, touch wood, he might pass away soon, because he's already quite old, so who knows, but we'll see. Personally, I'm not that interested in the royal family. Like a lot of people from abroad, they say, oh, the king and the queen, you know, and they like to buy all these souvenirs with the prince, Prince Harry, Prince William, and so on. Personally, I'm not that interested, but I can understand why many people like it, so it's just not my cup of tea. But there we go. Sorry, I'm getting a dry throat again. Okay, right. So yeah, Elizabeth II did pass away, unfortunately. But there we go. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you for, you know, sending so many comments and stuff. As usual, everyone. August, Sergio, thank you for the gifts. You didn't have to, but thank you very much. And then, what was it? Hannah, very good. Lots of great words. Boys' dinner, Prior Park College, and so on. Yeah. I will... Sorry. I'm getting a dry throat. So, let's just quickly review. Were there any key vocabulary? There wasn't so much key vocabulary, but one word, you know, house is a good word when talking about these, you know, different things. In Harry Potter, we have these different groups in school. Yeah, house, there were 7 houses at my school, and baby Eric was a part of Allen House. Okay. Anything else? When talking about the structure, we have the headmaster, or the principal in America, housemaster, and head of house. And then we have the different years and so on. Yeah, year 7, year 8, upper 3, lower 6th. And then we have these words here: primary school, secondary school, college, and university. Okay. I will be honest, teaching in Japan and speaking with many speakers, like learners all over the world, I have almost given up on using the word primary, secondary, because nearly everyone I talk to, if I say, so in college or in secondary school, they say, huh? Well, do you mean elementary and junior high school? And I say, yeah, okay, junior high school. But in the UK, we say primary, secondary, college, and university, okay? But most people probably study American English, so, well, it's your choice. And then, I think, was there any other important word? Yeah, this one's not so common, but pastoral, meaning your personal life. Academic, of course, the studying part of school. And then again, housemaster and house mistress. Okay. And then I think that was about it. Oh, quick picture. Oops, wrong one. Maybe some people didn't see that. They say, oh, who was that? Oh my gosh. Anyway, I think we can end it there. All right. Does anybody have any questions about the English or anything about British schools today? Yeah, does anyone have any questions? Wow, Hannah is so quick at typing. Well done. And then good to know the different expressions. What is more important, American or British accent? Is totally up to you. While there is no more important. Yeah. Some native speakers, they argue that, oh, British was the original English, America came from Britain and so on, but I don't care. It doesn't matter. Loads of people speak American English, loads of people speak British English, so just pick the one that you prefer. Yeah. Also, it's important to think about if you want to study abroad or work or live abroad, if you're going to go to America, you should probably learn American English. But if you want to go to the UK, then learn British English. And if it's British, then you could, listen to me and maybe copy what I say. But for American English, it's a bit different. But there are a lot of good American live streamers here on, Hello Talk. I think there is Teacher Mark, there's Jonathan, and then there was another one, Teacher Steph. But for British, you can listen to me, or much better, probably more experienced, there is Jules. That's her name. She is also from the UK and she's very British, so I recommend Jules if you want to copy a British accent. Okay? But it's your choice. A scary face indeed, August. I scared myself when I first looked in the mirror after putting on makeup. I was like, oh! So, there we go. But, yeah, you can definitely have your own preference. How can you find me on YouTube? Well, you can click on the pinned comment, and then that will take you to the live stream on YouTube, and then you can find my channel on that page, okay? You can find me at Eric English, okay? All right, great stuff. And then you're an amazing teacher. Thank you, August. That's very sweet. I mean, yeah, I still have a long way to go, but see, my mind is going blank now. I think, how long is this live stream? 2 hours. That's not too bad. But as I said earlier, before, I will be moving to Japan soon, in 2 weeks actually. I have to start packing actually, and I have to think about moving these things, right? How am I gonna move these paintings? Like, am I gonna take my guitar, or like, oh my gosh, I have to think about a lot of things. Because I've only have 2 suitcases, so I'm going to take like my microphone, my laptops, and maybe my teaching materials and things like that, but there's not enough space to bring heavy, large items. So, but anyway, when I move to Japan, I'm worried about my live streams, because I will definitely continue doing them at the same time. But right now, it's 3 p.m. in the UK, so that's okay, right? Middle of the day. But when I go to Japan, right now it's like almost midnight. It's 11 p.m. at Japan. So when I go to Japan, I will do my teaching from 5 to like 9 p.m. And then I will do my live stream from 9 to like 11 p.m. I'm going to be sleepy. Like, when I finish my live stream, I'm going to probably have dinner and then go to bed. Like, so I'm worried that my teaching quality will go down because I'll be so tired at the end of the day, 9 p.m. Maybe I should just wake up later. Maybe that would be best. But yeah, I will find a way. Maybe I'll just drink lots of coffee. But it's not good to drink too much caffeine, so we'll see. Thank you, Ricky. I am so looking forward to Japan. I am so looking forward to, like, just good food. Because the UK, yeah, it's okay, but it's also not so healthy. Like, when I go to Japan, I can buy rice, noodles, and I can buy, like very healthy stuff, okay? Here in the UK, there's too much fast food. There's too much, like, oily food. And it's just, bleh. But one thing I will miss from the UK is cheese. Oh, I love cheese. And if you ask my friends, they will all say Eric is the cheese man. So, like, at the school, when I had a salad, I would just put so much cheese on the salad. And then so many people would say, like, are you just eating cheese? And I would say, no, there's salad under here, look. And then I, like, dig under the cheese. So, anyway. But, yeah. Also, tomorrow, we're going to be doing a podcast live stream. Later tonight, my friends from college will be arriving at my place because, as I said, I'm going to leave for Japan in 2 weeks, so they're coming to visit me before I leave. And I said to them, hey, would you like to appear on my live stream? Because I know a lot of language learners want to listen to many natives, group conversations and different people speaking in different accents. So tomorrow over here, I need to change my studio. I need to put a table somewhere over here, and we're going to do a podcast style episode where it will be a bit more casual. They will introduce themselves. They do not speak in the same way as me, so this will be really good listening practice. And of course, they are some of my closest friends, so I speak very casually with them. Right now, I've got my teacher voice. It's not that different to my normal voice, but when I'm speaking to them, I might speak a bit more quickly and maybe in a more casual English way. So, if you're interested in that, you can find me same time. Wait a minute, is it same time? I will post a moment after this live stream, but you can see it here. There will be a special guest podcast at 12 p.m. Okay? So that is 8 p.m. Japan time tomorrow on Hello Talk and YouTube again, okay? So we'll be playing some games, we'll be doing a few things, and I will be asking them some debate topics, and then we'll just have a lot of discussion. And of course, if you guys have any questions, the three of us can answer them together. So you can ask them questions, you can ask me questions, you can ask them like, oh, what was Eric like in college? Was he, was he weird? Was he fun? Was he boring? Or something like that. Because of course, they will have a different opinion of me than me, right? So that will be a good chance to, ask some native speakers some interesting questions, okay? So I will post that again, but just to remind you, tomorrow, 12 p.m. at, what was it? 12 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. Japan time. One of them is a software engineer for a defense company that is actually, he's not allowed to talk about it because he works with the government, okay? And he knows a lot of like government secrets that he's not allowed to say, okay? If he does reveal a secret, there is a penalty. So I don't know what penalty, but he always says, by the way, I'm not allowed to talk about my job. And I said, well, you're talking about it right now. And he's like, yeah, it's okay if I don't, give you the details. And I said, oh, okay. And then my other friend is actually from my other friend is from Hong Kong, but he has lived in the UK for more than half his life, like 14, 15 years. And he is an interior designer for a 5-star luxury hotel in London. Okay. And his English is basically native at this point. Don't tell him this, but his grammar is not perfect, but his fluency, the way he speaks, the way he makes jokes and things like that, British sarcasm, he's like, I would say 80% British now, 90% British. So it will also be interesting to, you know, if you have any questions about, is it difficult to move to the UK? Because he moved to the UK when he was a teenager, but me and my other friend who are British, we were born here. So he's going to have a very different experience compared to us. So it'll be a good chance to ask him. Okay. Are there any questions? Let's have a look. What was it? Many people saying very kind things. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We also playing music now. Who's playing music? Am I playing music? Maybe you need to reschedule your lessons. Are you talking about when I moved to Japan? Yeah, it's difficult because I don't think I can change my lessons, unfortunately, because most of my lessons are for working adults. And in Japan, the best time for them to take lessons is after work. So I think I will have to either I do the live stream earlier before my lessons, but then that means it's too early in the morning. I think it's like, what, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. in the morning for Europe. And what, nobody wants to get up at 7 a.m. on the weekend to watch a live stream. So I think this will probably be the best time, okay, for everyone in Asia and Europe. So we'll do our best, okay? And then we're waiting here for your new life in Japan. Thank you. That's very sweet. And I will give you an apartment tour. Next week, I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to give you a UK live stream where I will show you around my British house, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to do my live stream on my phone and we'll walk around my city. So I'll show you, because recently the weather has been beautiful. It's been like sunshine 24 hours, 24/7, super warm, very nice. And I'll show you around the British parks. Maybe I'll go around the supermarket and things like that. But I have to say, I'm not very good at recording videos and live streaming in public. I'm one of those people where I'm super friendly and sociable if I'm like, how do I say it, in my room or just like talking to people. But if I'm like recording in a public place, like supermarkets, in the park, like I don't want to take a video of somebody else because, of course, you know, that's not fair. Not everybody wants to be on camera, and I don't want to be like super loud, right? Like if you're going to the park, it's nice and quiet and you hear the birds singing, and then suddenly you hear this guy go, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And it's just like, oh, get out of here. Nobody wants to hear that. So I don't want to cause trouble for other people, so I need to think about it. I think I need to get a microphone so that I can speak very quietly, like, how's it going, blah, 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 so that nobody else has to listen to my rubbish voice. But yeah, I'm gonna think about that next week. But, sorry, for tomorrow, we have the podcast live stream. We have lots of games prepared, so look forward to that. Okay, 12 p.m. tomorrow, noon and 8 p.m. Japan time. Okay, all right, I think that is about it for today. Does anyone have any final questions before I have lunch? Because I'm starving. I always say this, but it's because I skip breakfast. I never eat breakfast, and these live streams usually finish at about 3:30 p.m. So, like, I should have lunch at 2 p.m. So I'm already late for lunch. So I could eat a horse. Oof. There we go. But anyway, I think that's about it. I can imagine how hectic you'll be in Japan. Yeah, it'll be a bit hectic, especially the first few days, because I think I'm going to go to a social global workshop event where basically they are looking for people who can speak Japanese and English. And my friend, she's like the CEO of this company. She's amazing, but she has all these connections, and she said, "Hey, Eric, are you interested in helping be a facilitator?" A facilitator is somebody who guides the discussion, kind of like an MC. And they say, "Okay, Group A, can we please have one person from Group A share their opinion, okay?" So I will be doing that workshop like 2 days after I arrive in Japan, and I'll be speaking Japanese and English, so I need to start practicing my Japanese again. But anyway, you're shy. It's awkward, isn't it? Tamara, very well done. Yeah, exactly, Tamara and Hannah. I'm shy in public, or more than that, I'm worried about making other people feel uncomfortable in public. So I'm shy, but I'm also worried about other people being shy. But yeah. And then grab some food. I will do, Hannah. Thank you. Eddie, thank you. And happy birthday again, Eddie. I hope you have a nice celebration this weekend. Maybe get some cake. And I hope you can, just relax. And that goes to all of you. I hope you all have a nice, relaxing weekend. Get a good rest tonight. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, at 12 p.m. UK time. It's annoying because recently the UK time has changed. We call it summertime or daylight savings. So 2 weeks ago, the time difference between Japan and the UK was 9 hours. So UK, Japan, I think it was 9 hours. But because of daylight savings, where the time changes, it became 8 hours. So then my calendar, I have to change everything, and then sometimes there was a double booking because all of my students are in Japan. Oh, I hate daylight savings. It's so stupid. And also, most British people think it's stupid as well, because some people think oh, but it's nice because when the clock goes 1 hour back, when you wake up, instead of 7 a.m., it's 6 a.m. So you think, oh, I can sleep an extra hour. But then it's the opposite in the summer. The other day, I woke up and then, what was it? I think my car clock said 6 p.m. or something like that. And I checked my phone, it was 7 p.m. There are so many problems. People are sometimes late for their appointments. It's just stupid. Why do we have daylight savings? Anyway. Oh, interesting. What was it? August says in Russia we stopped changing clocks. When did you stop changing clocks? I wish we stopped changing clocks because it's just unnecessary, I think. But people need to change their alarm. Yeah, that's true. Luckily, most phones and computers automatically update and change. But car clocks, maybe older cars, and of course, physical alarm clocks, the old school where you have to twist it and it turns the hand, those also do not automatically update. So, yeah, it's a pain in the neck. Pain in the neck. Anyway, yes, we call it daylight savings. I think the reason why we had daylight saving, or one reason, is because, of course, in the summer the days get longer, and in the winter the nights get longer, or the days get shorter. So, of course, especially in winter, when it's sometimes when it's like icy, or maybe it's dark and snowing, for people who have to drive a long distance, let's say you wake up 6 a.m. In the summer, to go to work, it will be light, it will be bright, and it's very safe because it's easy to see. But in the winter, it's very dangerous because if you wake up at 6, it's going to be dark. And especially when it's snowing, lots of ice on the road, when you're driving, dark plus ice, that's just a recipe for disaster, right? So I think it was a mix of reasons to make driving safer, also to help people feel more awake, because of course when the sunlight enters our eyes, we feel more awake. It's called melatonin, that chemical that helps us regulate or control our body rhythm. But I think those are the main reasons. There might be another reason, but I don't know. But there you go. Putin said to stop. Well, I don't agree with some things that Putin has done, but I can say that I do agree with stopping the changing of the clocks. It's weird. But anyway, Ricky says, I'm very curious about daylight saving system because we don't have such a thing in Japan. Always, I wonder how it works. It's just very simple. 2 times a year, we move the clocks once forward. That was 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago? Recently, for the summer. And then in the winter, we move the clocks 1 hour back. Okay? So it's very annoying. It's just, yeah. Anyway. But it is weird, isn't it? In Russia, we have 11 time zones. I didn't know there were that many. Wow. 11 time zones. And it was crazy to change clocks, so it was stopped. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a very good idea. I didn't know there were 11 time zones. Thank you, August. There you go. Learning something new every day. Yeah, of course, in the UK, we don't have so many. We just have 1. So we're very lucky. And of course, the UK goes by GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, which is basically the 0 time, the center of the world, where, for example, if you look on universal clocks, Japan, it says GMT plus 8, which means it's 8 hours ahead of the UK. Can I quickly show you? Let's quickly, give me a second. Let's put this here. So if I go UK time converter, and then, ooh, I'm getting messages. So, city, time zone. Let's go Tokyo. Hello. Oh, here we go. So, sorry, I was wrong. It says UTC. UTC is Universal Time something something. UTC? Coordinated or Universal Coordinated Time. Yeah? And if we look here, oh, that's a very bad image, isn't it? If I put this here, image, zoom in. That is a terrible image. But anyway, you can see the different time zones here. Okay, is there a better picture? Something here? Ooh. This one. This is better. Yeah, so we have UT, Universal Time, and then we have Japan over here, which is around 9 or 10. But because it's summertime, it should be... Wait, I'm confused. It should be 8. But anyway, whatever. And then as August taught us, what was it? Russia is so huge that it has like 10 different times. Oh my, 11. And then of course Africa, Canada, and America, and so on. So there we go. Okay. All right, interesting stuff. Am I Japanese? Nope, I'm British. Thank you, Hannah. But okay, right, I really have to have lunch because my stomach is going. So, thank you very much, everyone, for joining today. I hope you learned something new. I hope you enjoyed, looking at school, Eric, my younger photos, especially that photo with the kiss makeup. Yeah, the black and white makeup. That was pretty funny. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow and you'll be able to meet my college friends and listen to a lot of native discussion between natives, because I know speaking or listening to one native is already difficult sometimes, but listening to two, group conversations are a nightmare. So let's challenge your listening tomorrow, okay? But thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. The next stream is tomorrow at 12 p.m. UK time, okay? Tomorrow. All right. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you very soon. Thank you for all the regular and the new viewers. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Okay. And, oh, Nods, you're here. Unfortunately, the stream has ended, and I don't know who's here on the YouTube side. Maybe Mio, Nods, and maybe a few other people. But hopefully, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a wonderful night. If you missed the stream, you can watch the recording on the channel. Okay? See you guys. Bye. Where's the button? Here we go.